I'm not even gonna update it. I was gonna now for some reason when you did video, it flipped you. It went boop, and we're backwards.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, I'm not going to be the only one not showing my face. You know what I mean? Even if I got to do it on the cellular device.
Hey, the professional, unprofessional podcast.
Yeah,
No,
this game's awesome.
yeah, it is.
Kicks ass, dude. It's the best card game I've ever played. I have lots of things that I'll complain about, and I have lots of things that I'll praise, and everything that I complain about in this game, I complain about with love because of it. It's so good. So, well, I remember we looked over the list, Ben and I did while I was out walking around at work, and the list itself looked, I mean, fine. Like it looked like a pretty decent out of the box list.
Yeah.
I know we were kind of talking earlier about with the Gravy Bones deck, they put in that nice little like pamphlet, like that like little learn to play thing, or not even so much a learn to play, but just like a about Gravy Bones thing. And I'm wondering if obviously you guys have them. We haven't opened them up.
I know the answer to that, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, well, greetings and welcome for those of you that will be watching this in the future world. It's a nice, very hot Saturday, and I have two of our, I guess, locals, we're all locals to each other technically, but I have two good people here that I've gotten to know pretty well. Ben, who's been on the channel a couple times before, and another new face here that is going to help us explain quite a bit of fun shenanigans. Matt, do you want to give maybe a little bit of a backstory on yourself, maybe how you got into FAB and things like that? That might be something super fun to start with.
Sure. So I did not really get into card gaming or TCGs until like my adult life. I wasn't one of those kids that like grew up playing Magic or anything, but I moved out to Colorado when I was young and picked up Magic just with some friends that I worked with in a restaurant. And, cut to some years later, we all ended up starting a game store out in Colorado. And just in kind of researching the different card games and like wanting to learn more before we started the game, I'd heard about Flesh and Blood. I'd heard that Flesh and Blood was kind of picking up steam out in Colorado, and it was even before I moved out there the second time to go kind of help work the store and hang out with the owners, Kyle and Josh, and so I started learning about it and started playing it, and it just immediately, like wildfire, caught me, pun intended, for anybody who knows that I play Kano. It just caught me like wildfire, and I fell in love with it. I was terrible at it when I first started, and I loved that. I'm a big Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Souls game guy, and so like it felt like Dark Souls PvP in a card game, and it immediately stole my heart. So I started on Katsu back in Tales of Aria, and I just, like I said, just would get my ass kicked all the time. I'd played armories with some really good dudes out there, and I don't think I won a game for the first like 6 months unless I was teaching somebody new. So
I feel you,
which was fun. Yeah, it was a good time. So yeah. I just have been playing ever since and have loved it. So,
well, it's always nice to kind of get a little bit of history on how people kind of got into the game, and honestly, what's also really neat is, and I guess I can say this for those that may not know online, is in our locals, while we are, I would say, a more casual shop, we have players that are very skilled at the heroes that they choose. And, when you bring your two favorites to the table, I pretty much know that I'm going to have a big L on my forehead, like the song, and it's fine because it's just, there's a level of understanding with some of these heroes that once you kind of get to that point, you just know fundamentally how to get that edge even in good matchups. And honestly, I'm still not that great at all the matchups, but today I want to talk about a hero that is kind of just been re-released. Ben, do you want to introduce the hero that we are going to talk about here?
Yeah, the hero we're going to talk about today is none other than IRA Scarlet Revenger.
Is that the promo version?
Yeah, this is the LGS promo.
You knew he'd swap it out. You knew he would.
I know.
He wasn't going to show off that flat, non-foiled IRA for this video.
Well, You know, that's something I wanted to look at, is the difference between the promo and the IRA card, because I have in my hand here, I already opened mine, and I've looked at the IRA card that came in the deck, and it's kind of interesting. So Ben, do you wanna pop open your deck while maybe Matt, do you want to talk over your initial impressions of what you think about the deck, and maybe even I'd say go so far as to maybe the availability locally, because there was some kind of banter on that in our kind of local conversation.
Sure. Let me pull up this deck list so that I can be a little more specific. As far as availability, I know you guys had spoken to our LGS, and I think he said he'd gotten a case, 12 boxes in.
Correct.
That's not too bad. I mean, our locals is relatively small. I mean, I'd say we're anywhere from 6 to 12 people. So I think that's a fair bit of distribution. I think it's a lot better than, I mean, it certainly is a lot better than the Max deck. I was pretty upset about us not receiving a single Max deck. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. I thought whether it was through, LSS's allocation or distribution's allocation, I thought that was really dropping the ball, because I knew there was a handful of us that would have picked those up. So, but I do have this IRA list pulled up in front of me. I've been a big fan of the Armory decks since they've been coming out. I really have. I come from Magic again, so I'm a little spoiled in the sense of like the Commander decks, getting sweet tokens and getting all kinds of cool stuff. But as far as power level out of the box, I really have thought that these have all been pretty well done. I mean, I really do think this is a nice IRA list. I think you can, an experienced player, a new player could pick this up and have a good experience with it. It's got great new cards. I think all the Vengeance cards are, they're nothing groundbreaking. They're essentially just sidesteps of old combo cards that we already have. I mean, but they're awesome. I think it's cool to give IRA her own identity with Edge of Autumn. I think it's really cool that they clearly know that Kadachi is the lifeblood of Ninja right now, so they gave her away to, pseudo Kadachi, or to at least keep the same kind of multiple weapon attacks kind of deal. I think it's great. I think there's some really cool reprints in here too. I think Give and Take is a sweet reprint. I think getting a playset of Snatches and Razor Reflexes and Synchrolos and Flick Flax. I mean, I think I'm genuinely, as far as E-Pops as well. I mean, man, if these are all 3 ofs, that's pretty nice. That really is.
So here's a question for you, because I fell down the internet rabbit hole, aka Twitter, aka Reddit, aka X, or whatever, all those together. And I've seen 2 interesting train of thoughts. People were happy about the deck, but they were not happy that the new 6, or the 3 and 3, the Vengeance, the Enact Vengeance and the Vengeance Never Rests, they said they came in non-foil, and apparently that was kind of sad for people. What is your thought on the fact that these came with non-foils? I have a personal opinion on it that I don't think it makes a difference, but like, is that really a deal breaker for a deck that's supposed to get people into the game?
I mean, yeah. I understand people wanting the one foil, because I understand people wanting to foil them out if at all possible. I totally get that. I know that's been kind of the theme from KO moving forward, where it's like you got 1 rainbow foil and your 2 non-foils, and if you wanted to go out and get foils, you could, or if you wanted to trade your foil for other. But I'm kind of in the same boat of, I don't really think it makes a difference. Is that 1 E-Pot in that list, Ben Fox?
Yeah, 1 E-Pot.
Interesting.
Kind of a goofy.
There's 2 other things I want to point out, and you can tell me if you think the theory on this is correct. So we got some new decks. Gravy Bones recently had the CC or CB, right, where it was both class constructed and blitz, and it had the paper pamphlet, which was I would say a praise, because that was a good thing that we kind of all as a group were asking for. At least the majority of people seemed like they wanted something like that. Now, this one doesn't have a CCCB or CB version where they're not doing that. So I kind of feel like this was developed before a certain time frame and was held onto and released at this time. There's two reasons I think that. Sink Below is a rare, and at one point that was up-shifted to a rare. But in the Hunted, Razor Reflex went to a rare, but in this set, the Razor Reflex is actually a common. So I feel like this was possibly, in my head, designed before the Hunted set because the Razor Reflex isn't a rare, which would make sense if they upshifted Razor Reflex to a rare for the Hunted. Just a theory, right? That's just, there's no proof. I have nothing to back that, but it is interesting to see that you could still do the Gravy Bones, take out, 20 cards, make it a Blitz deck, but you don't get the Young Hero and you don't get that. So it's a very different feel, almost like a weird step backwards from the Gravy Bones deck in some capacity, but not a big enough one for me to really care about. It's IRA. It's the 2-player starter that I have for Gen Con. That's the wrong box. There's a box around here, and if you come to the Gen Con thingy, I'll be giving out the 30-card IRA decks that I got from one of the LGSs that went out of business over here. I'll be trying to give those out to new players and people just as something. But, that's what I started with. That was my first introduction to the game. So now we have an adult, even though we've had the adult for a while. So, I don't know.
Well, and to be fair, it wouldn't make sense for them to make a Blitz version of it, considering she's no longer Blitz legal. You know what I mean?
I know. That's the weird
that would,
ha ha ha.
That would be kind of a weird, hey, you could have done it this way.
Yeah. Well, where do we want to... What's up?
I was going to say, I think the deck looks nice. I think, because we were talking about potential upgrades, and maybe this is a decent enough segue into, if at all, what we would upgrade the deck with.
Yeah.
Well, do you think the value, before we go down that, do you think that the value at retail is here? I think the answer is yes, based on the bittering. Say that again.
$42.90 right after tax.
Yeah, you got the Bittering Thorns Red, which was $8 a card because they were only available in the Tolarian Academy or the TCC box. You got Give and Takes. You do have Sink Belows and Snatches, so there's a pretty chunk of good cards in here.
Yeah, these sinks are $2 to $3 a piece, and snatches are $3 a piece. So you've got basically $18 just in these 6 cards, and you've got a couple nice Majestics, and then
not even just in the generics, right? Like the Bittering Thorns reprints, the Soulbead Strike reprints for Ninja, red and blue. Yeah, we got some nice stuff.
Just the new cards like these Enact Vengeance, I'm sure are going to be $5 a piece, and any of these other exclusive cards you can only get in this deck are probably going to be a minimum at least probably $1 a piece. So and then the headpiece, you got the Iris of the Blossom, and you've got Okana Scar Wraps, which basically create her a whole new archetype around Edge of Autumn and Whirling Mist Blossom. So yeah, I definitely think the value's here.
So the IRA Armory Deck singles are available on TCG Player, and at this point, the highest rated cards in Act Vengeance are selling for $12. Vengeance Never Rests is $11. Legacy of Ikaru is $5. Seek Vengeance is $5. It's these, to me, this is kind of, these are pre-release prices because the Iris of Blossom 16, there's no way these prices stay this high.
No.
Frankly, but it is interesting to see that even Sink Below is still $2.50. Now there's only 2 listings, which seems more reasonable on those. Hell, Snapdragon Scalers is $1. That's wild to me.
Snapdragon Scalers still a fantastic common. Oh my god.
You get 3 Razor Reflex, which is a staple generic. You get
getting the 3 Flick Flax. Oh, the 3 Flick Flax is nice as well.
Staple Ninja card.
Staple.
There's just a lot of good solid cards in this. Right out of the box, this is a great playable deck to get you started in the game of Flesh and Blood. So it's a little weird to me that there's no foils like there were in the other decks, and I guess there's only, how many Majestics are there? There's
technically more because you get 6 with those, but you get the equipment. So
Was there 4 or 5 Majestics? I think 4.
There's 3 Vengeance Never Rests. There's 2 Give and Take, and then you've got the 3 new equipment. So
There's a total of 11 if you count IRA.
And yeah, we won't count IRA. We already know how we feel about Majestic Heroes.
I'm so glad that for Super Slam we're going back to basic heroes, basic adults.
It's a good call.
That is a thing that should not have. This is a thing that should not have been. That is so crazy to me that we switched to having majestic adult heroes.
So how about this? Let's do 2 things. I wanted to talk. Let's kind of go old school to new school. So Matt, one of my first things that I met with you is you have a Katsu deck, and what I'd like to do is maybe describe that Katsu deck for folks to kind of a lead in into this IRA, because that Katsu deck really, I think, is a very unique take on how you kind of called it your Kano Katsu. And I don't know how accurate that is, but it to me plays very, you do have to do a lot of thinking with it, but it is also super fun. So if you want to talk about that a little bit, I think that'd be exciting. And then I kind of want to lead that into the IRA Armory deck itself.
Sure. We'll call it Kano Katsu. Katsu is, it's a terrible misnomer. It is really more just, it is certainly just a prismatic ley line super combo Katsu deck. I maximize combo value as often as possible. I try to treat it as though it is forward pressure, but it's very much a love child of my own brain, right? It's Katsu is very much a hero that, in my personal opinion, for the length that I've been playing him, is more rewarding for having in-depth knowledge of the hero than just about anybody else, right? And other instances would be your combo wizards and, you know, either your illusionist, maybe some of your harder decks, but Katsu definitely, like, the more you play him, the more lines you take, the more hands you see, just he becomes just such a nice toolbox hero. And that's all I do. I just try to set up kind of really ridiculous. Yeah, there's the man himself. I try to set up just really ridiculous, super huge combo lines, and I try to just wiggle around, and something's got to hit, right? It's the whole thing with Katsu, is you're just trying to give so many decision lines to your opponent that eventually they're going to make the wrong choice, and you're going to capitalize on it with 30 damage. You know, it's just the whole idea. It's a lot of fun. It is a ton of fun.
Now, with kind of your list that you had, what about this? You know, kind of, we had 2 trains of thought. We had the IRA deck as is. We kind of talked a little bit about that. We can go into your Katsu list, and then we can maybe talk about, I don't know if you wanted to, like, you kind of talked about maybe the weird, I think you were kind of brewing a list of, like, you know, Edge of Autumn Katsu, or as an example, a Kadachi IRA, just to cover all the bases, right? Because there is a direction, like you'd said, that LSS seems to want for some of these heroes to kind of go in. But the beauty of this game is, you know, it can go any direction. You can play this. Hell, you could play with Talishar, which is a generic weapon. I wish we'd actually have more generic weapons in general. I know that that's a faux pas thing for some people, but, like, I think it would just make deck building just wild, because then you wouldn't know what weapon. Like, at this point, if you come in with Gravy Bones, you know you're having the Compass. Like, just stop. That's what it is. If you come with Prism, you pretty much have 1, maybe 2 options, right? If you come with Max, you have, well, you used to be able to go with 2, but, you know, since IE, went out, now you're pretty much going to pick the one that works with her, you know. So I think it'd be kind of fun to have that random roulette of what it would be there. But what's your thoughts on, I guess, how you want to approach this? Because really, I kind of want to let you lead the discussion on these, because it's, you know, I want to listen and learn as much as I can, because these decks are just very interesting.
I mean, I can present some choices, I guess. You know, if we go through my Katsu list, even if you want to pull it up, I can happily talk about it for people who might be interested in trying it.
Do I have that list is my question. I actually don't remember.
I can pop it in our Discord very quickly.
Yeah, if you pop that over there, I'll pull it up, and then we can go. Hey, out of curiosity, anecdotally, are you on that laptop or are you on your phone?
I'm actually on my phone right now.
Nice. Okay.
Yes. I need to get set up with a webcam and all that good stuff and get like a desk area and everything. I'm literally just sitting on my couch right now, so this is a very
chill,
very
chillaxed. All right, so I have this pulled up. You should be able to even see my screen technically, but I have FAB pulled up here. This is a $260 deck for those that are saying FAB is too expensive, and let me tell you, this kicks my ass at the Armory. So
this is a relatively inexpensive deck. That's kind of one of the beauties of it.
Let's walk through it. Do you got results on here too? No. Okay, I didn't know.
Nah. All right, so this list, obviously, it's built around Katsu. As some say, has the worst hero ability out of the original 4. I've heard that be said. Baloney, I say. His equipment setup is what I think most Katsu setups are. I mean, breaking scales. You want the +1 for combo damage. You want the battle 1/1 to be able to cover something up. It's beautiful. Breeze Rider boots, same thing. This deck more so, I run so much combo because I'm really trying to play around Ancestral Harmony and just making sure that that's not a whiff if I'm going to take the time to set up around it, right? So same thing, you're just going to have a lot of clunky cans, or there's going to be a lot of times that your reliance is just kind of sneaking through a Flusterfist on Chainlink 2 or something and hoping that you can just set off an entire chain that way. Heart and Cross Strap, because it always equals 5 damage. It's always and Ben Fox can back me up on this, it's always you break it and you Surging Strike with it. Whether you toss 2 Kadachis on or whether you're just using that to keep an extra card in hand to try to fire off a full-on combo. Because there's so many times when you play this deck, and I can't claim that my ratios are really good. It's just kind of the RNGesus and the ability to, I've played the deck so many times, I just, kind of know the lines, but there's so many times that the full combo will just kind of present itself to you. It's excellent when that happens. It's like drawing a Wildfire and putting it in your pocket, and your next hand is 3 blues and a Lesson in Lava. You're ready to go. So I like to build my Katsu decks backwards, in a sense. So I don't like to just say, for consistency's sake, I'm going to run just Surging Strikes, just Whelming Gust Waves, and, I'm going to try to jam this Lord of Wind line. I'm going to try to jam. I like to go from, the 2 most powerful cards, in my opinion, in the deck are Bonds of Ancestry, of course. I mean, we just got that unbanned. I have my own thoughts and opinions on that. I'll keep those to myself because I am not on the side of the ninjas when it comes to Bonds of Ancestry. I think that card's very powerful. But between that and Retrace the Past, those to me are just Retrace the Past, if I could. And I'm sure I'm bouncing all over the place. It's probably terrible for anybody who's listening to me talk for the first time. But Retrace the Past to me, I think, was the last card that Katsu needed. And I don't mean that in like it's the last card he needed. I mean, genuinely, I think that was the last piece of his puzzle. That card enables so many incredible turns. It enables so many really... It bails you out of so many situations just from throwing it in your arsenal at the end of a turn because it's an off-mash trigger. And you go, all right, whatever. The amount of combo and finishers that are enabled because of Retrace the Past as well. So not even just to be able to smooth your turns out, but a way to fire off a Dishonor without having to go find Bonds of Ancestry because maybe somebody, named it Bonds of Ancestry or named it that you couldn't play it with a censor, right? Because it's an attack trigger that you name it. Then, or being able to fire into a Fine Center. I mean, we've watched people at our locals lose their minds over a Fine Center. It is just such a good combo card that the rest of the line before it, Soul Strike and Crane Dance, are just not good. They're just not worth playing. They're not worth playing around. They're not worth running in the deck. Soul Strike at this point is not even worth running in the deck. You'd rather have
anything else.
Other things. Literally anything else at this point.
Now, is this your latest version of this, or I think you said you might have, because Ben, you have your version too. I don't know if you want to send that over in Discord too, but we can touch on your variation after this one.
I really like Ben Fox's list. I will praise it in every instance that I get, because I think that it is a more like straightforward and cohesive Katsu list. It's breakpoint pressure, and it's a really beautiful display of what Katsu does. This in particular is nonsense. It works because the game says it should, I guess. There's no real reason that it does what it does, but so no, I basically just selected all my cards off of how many I had of a combo piece, and if the combo piece before it was a 0 cost, I usually went up 1 so that I had the ability to discard one of them on an off turn and still have enough to try to kind of ratio up that combo line. So
Ben, I don't know if you're going to send your list over, but I can flip to yours if you pass it over.
I'll pass it over. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, your list is very like, I'm trying to assemble that time bomb as quickly as possible, I feel like. So you got your Ancestral Harmonies, your Prismatic Ley Lines, and I mean, just watching that thing go sometimes, like, you know, I've seen turns like where you've busted that Prismatic Ley Line out and come in for well over 30 damage with, you know, even a Break Tide on the end for like, what, I think you pushed the Break Tide up with the yellow on hit, and it was like, what, 6 Dominate, or like, it was really crazy.
Like, it was like a 7 or 8 Dominate after like the Breaking Tails too. Yeah, 8 Dominate on hit, banish the top card, and you can just play it until the end of your next turn. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, something I'm starting to notice is that, you know, and I said this, I think, at our last event, right? I played a very off-meta Tekla-Vossen, trying to figure out, you know, what I could make. I think it was more of an OTK Teklo. And it was really rough going into almost every deck that was out there. But at the same time, you know, the same thing was said about my Nitro Mech deck. It was a off-meta, very weird, you know, trying to make it work kind of a deck. And it also was really rough going into everything. So it's like there's so many, and I think, Matt, you said this best, or I don't know if it's the right wording here, but, you know, if you're going to try and be able to actually win your armories, you pretty much have to play decks that are kind of in the meta and at the top of the list. Because if you just come in with some fun jank thing, it's probably just going to result in, you know, a roll of the dice at best kind of a thing.
Well, I mean, not even to the hopelessness of it. I really think it's one of those, like, if you play something that you know either isn't as efficient as it can be, or isn't, you know, this game is such a value grind that truly, if you're not min-maxing, I mean, you have to expect not min-max results, right? Or you just have to play something in a way that, again, like this Katsu list, I just think that because I know so much going into the list, you know, I think that it has a skewed power level because of, you know, the way that I can pilot it, just again, because I know what I'm doing with that list. Versus, you know, if I grab somebody else's Katsu list, I probably would still have a couple of hangups here and there, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, my list is kind of built more towards consistency and having those like breakpoints. So running more so off Mask of Momentum and just being able to present, you know, a blue in hand with a 4 breakpoint and just being able to go Kadachi, and then like Bittering Thorns for 4. You know, I think that's still a really powerful play, and just like on an off turn. So if you don't have that full combo, if you know, trying to get to the point where you can arsenal your Bonds of Ancestry or arsenal that key combo piece that you're looking for, I still think that's really strong to do.
I mean, there's a percentage of this deck which is pretty much the same, right? Winds of Eternity, Retrace, Lords, Fine Center, Dishonor, McGinchin Release, Surging Strike. Where it differs, it looks like, is like Double Strike and maybe some Bittering Thorns, stuff like that.
And stuff that I think is just trickier stuff, just more consistent stuff. It's better things to have in your hands during off turns because it creates actual good turns, right? Instead of having like, shit, I've got a Flusterfist, a blue, a second Gust Wave, and a Be Like Water. Like, this is maybe something until somebody throws a 3 block in front of it, then we're just kind of rolling. So
So let's kind of circle back on the IRA piece because, as we've all kind of gone around now with the different, we've talked a little bit about your Katsu list, Ben's Katsu list, Katsu originally, and now we have the IRA list here. What else would you say, or what upgrades? Do you have an upgraded list on Fabry? Have you created one of those yet, by any chance?
Not for IRA, but I do know. I mean, we were talking about it for the Katsu list, but I think that this could be a prismatic leyline list. I think, one of the best combo cards to put into the deck is, combo cards that combo off of themselves and just have natural goes. Right? 100 wins, spinning wheel kick. Being able to toss a yellow spinning wheel kick on a prismatic leyline turn is pretty spicy. Still pumps it up to 5. So being able to go, pitch a blue to edge of autumn, and then spinning wheel kick. Maybe you have a red spinning wheel kick in your hand after you did this prismatic leyline. So that next one's coming in for, what would that be, 6?
So would you want twin twisters then to continue to go down those paths?
You could possibly. Twin twisters is a nice card, especially in IRA. Especially, I mean, maybe, right? You can choose both modes if you put it at Chainlink 2. You get her ability, so it still becomes a 1-for-4 with the on hit of +1. But at that point, I mean, we have red bittering thorns, and though, yes, it does make spinning wheel kick better, or at least lets it combo. I still think just on its own, I mean, it's like 100 wins, right? It's the same thing of, even in this deck, not being able to search for 100 wins like you could in Katsu. They're still just good value cards, right? They're pumpable with your arms. I was going to say breaking skills, but I forgot we're using a different arm piece now, the Okana Scar Wraps. If you decide to add in things like Ancestral Harmony, because you are running more combo cards, you're running the Edge of Autumn combo cards. Ancestral Harmony, I think, is a good one as well. Really, the easy one and the strict upgrade that I think that anybody who has played any amount of Ninja would see is just being able to put that Snapdragon Scalers into a Breeze Rider Boots. You run enough combo cards, you'll want the Battle 1/1 as an aggro deck. You'll just want as much block on your body as you can get, and especially with, this is meant to clearly be more of an aggro IRA than the more traditional mid-range IRA, I would assume. Or at least maybe not the more traditional, but the more traditional for our play group, right? That's what we see more often as mid-range IRA.
So why, out of all the abilities, right? Katsu's ability is different than IRA's, which is different than Dash's, which is different than, Chain's. Why is this your second attack gets +1? It seems on the surface so basic and barren, but
It is.
why is this so unique and powerful? Because I've been kind of learning more and more that this static ability is just value engine galore. Ben or Matt, who wants to go first on this?
Yeah. Basically, like, you just don't have to work for it, right? It's just there on the card. You get it basically every single turn. And they do play radically different. I mean, like, Ira's a basic starting hero, but her ability is very powerful for a ninja. Like, and the key thing about her is that she is able to push breakpoints with her ability. So she turns all of your 3 attack cards into 4 attacks, turns all of your 6 attack cards into 7s. So she's able to just push breakpoints and being able to get that damage through and just keep her combo going. So, Jacob, I don't know I think I sent you my IRA list. If you got a second, we'll pull that up. I can walk you through my list, but there's a lot of upgrades that I think I would do to this deck. I think it's really good out of the box, but
there's a couple. You sent me a Katsu list. Did you send me an IRA list or in the group chat?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I sent you one to your personal Discord.
Found it. Okay, hold on.
No, you're fine.
Had to go to 2 different tabs to get it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so this is your IRA upgrade. I already see a tunic in here. So now I do want to call out that you called it the upgraded list, right? And this is still only $590.
Yeah, and you could really, like, I mean, if you don't have a tunic, you could get away with running anything else. You could just run that Robe of Autumn's Fall, that comes standard in the deck. It's got AB1 on it, and whenever you
Run
hit
Old
with,
Knocker.
you could run Old Knocker. Yeah,
I will sing the praises of Old Knocker until
Knocker
everyone
is so
buys that card
good.
up. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's just like the better, what is it? Row of Blossoms? No, what is it?
The Blossom of Spring.
Blossom of
Blossoms.
Spring. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
better.
just that it is. It is.
So Ben, let's talk through your IRA upgrade list, and Matt, I want you to also be the counterpoint to say things you might look at different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so traditionally, IRA basically wanted to have a mid-range game plan. I would say for the most part, what she's really was really good at doing was basically blocking 2 cards and attacking with 2 cards. So being able to go Kodachi for 1, Kodachi for 2, and then hitting you for like with a 1 for 5. And the deck being basically just 3 blocks and a bunch of D-reacts, being really defensive, being able to send 2 cards, block 2 cards, and just being able to present just continuous just damage, and then having these really powerful turn cycles. And so now with Okana Scar Wrap, and we've got Iris of the Blossom now with this new archetype that LSS has built us, is we can basically turn this deck instead of a mid-range deck. This is going to be more of your combo aggro-based decks that's not going to be so much focused on blocking. And what this is really going to focus around is your Iris of the Blossom. So instead of running Mask of Momentum for most of us ninjas, we can now run that really cool mask, and it allows you to, at an instant speed, you can tap it, discard any card, search your deck for Whirling Mist Blossom, banish it, shuffle, and then you can play it this turn.
Which
so that
I
on
gotta,
demand,
I gotta
crazy.
put a little note in here too, if I could. That I don't know if enough people recognize how crazy that is, because the only other way that you had traditionally to try and find your Whirling Mist Blossom and set that up was Mask of the Pouncing Lynx. We went from a single use and without even being able to use the Blade Right 2 of the helmet. You know what I mean? Having a single use set up one time for a Whirling Mist Blossom. Now we have a repeatable with an actual, you can block with it when the time's over. This is a, for IRA, this is a really, really nice Mask Momentum replacement.
Yes. Yeah.
This
and
is
that's
really nice.
even more of a budget option, right? Is like you don't need that. I guess probably $70-$80 for a Mask of Momentum now. And so this comes just like stock standard in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just new into the game and you're looking for an easy way to get in the ninja class, like Iris of the Blossom is really cool for IRA. The nice thing about Whirling Mist Blossom is that it's also yellow, so you can play it in combo with Prismatic Leyline. And that's kind of how I've set this deck up, is to basically revolve around Whirling Mist Blossom, your Iris of the Blossom, Prismatic Leyline, and being able to push breakpoints and then set up these really nice combo turns. So being able to find a point in time where you can get to your Prismatic Leyline, set it up in the arsenal, and then have a turn, 5-card hand turn, where you can go and get Whirling Mist Blossom, a red, have another blue in your hand ideally. And so a nice turn would be like having Prismatic in arsenal, you play that out, and then you've got basically a blue that you can pitch to Deadly Duo. So you could Deadly Duo for basically as a 1-for-4 breakpoint, and then on hit, your next attack gets +2. And so now your Whirling Mist Blossom with Ira's ability is going to, with Prismatic Leyline, is going to come in as a 1-for-7, go again, on hit, draw 2 cards. So that becomes just insane. It just in itself, just being able to just steamroll and like basically force blocks, or if you're going up against another aggro deck, you're just going to just start to mow them over with value very quickly if that connects. And then
that man's hard.
Yes, and then just having your Edge of Autumn tied to your Okana Scar Wraps on demand, just being like that extra attack reaction, being able to push over your on hits, like your Whirling Mist Blossom, your Enact Vengeance, Deadly Duo, any of these cards that require like these on hits to trigger off.
Walk me through your perfect, we'll call it Arsenal plus 4-card hand. You said Prismatic Leyline is in your Arsenal. So you want a red, a yellow, and a blue. So you got a random blue to pitch, don't care what. So you talked about Deadly Duo. So that's your red. So just spell this out for everybody so that we can very much make sure we're doing this right. So Prismatic Leyline says your next red is going to get +1. So if you come in with Deadly Duo to begin with, right? So it's on the blue pitch, you're pitching the blue, using one resource, have 2 left, coming in for 3. Prismatic Leyline gives it a +1, and then it's a 1 for 4 on that one, correct?
4 go again. Yeah, and then on hit, your next attack is going to get +2.
So let's assume it does hit. So now you hit. What's your next attack is a +2. Now, what are you playing next?
Well, if you don't have a Whirling Mist Blossom in hand already, and you connect with that Deadly Duo, now you can activate your mask and instant now once you connect with Deadly Duo to go get your Whirling Mist Blossom. And then now you can play Whirling Mist Blossom, which is going to come in for 7 go again.
So how do we get to the 7? Let's math that out for everybody. So we got the +2 from the Deadly Duo, right?
Yep, +2 from Deadly Duo.
And then
you're gonna get
Prismatic Leyline says next yellow gets +2. So 2 +2
and
+2.
then Ira's ability is going to give it +1 as well.
So that's where the 7 comes in.
Yep, that's where your 7 comes in.
Okay. And then if it hits, which 7's a break point, because typically blocks are 3, and it's the second chain link or higher, you're going to draw 2 fucking cards. So better than Mask.
Yeah. Better than Mask. You're getting 2 full cards, and you can just keep going. And hey, if you don't have a blue and you draw into one, guess what? There's a ton of really good blues in this deck.
What's your optimal blue?
You can finish up with, honestly, like any of your 0 cost blues, like your Winds of Eternity.
That new, the new Vengeance card, or the new
card.
Yeah, that'll get that +3 from Prismatic Leyline. Not Seek Vengeance; it's the 1 cost. What is it?
If you've
Scroll down, sir. There it is.
The
Second card
Vengeance
to last.
never
Yep.
rests.
Vengeance never rests.
So you would actually want to break this up and go the Edge of Autumn as your 3rd attack, technically.
Mhm.
Which, for sake of argument here, that would be a 1 go again, just let that fly. So now you've used 0 for Prismatic Leyline, 1 for Deadly Duo, so you have 2 resources floating. Whirling Mist Blossom is 1, so you got 1 remaining, which is technically where you would use your
Edge of Autumn.
Edge of Autumn. So you have 0
We could
floating
pull a Tunic resource.
floating
if we
resources.
wanted
Let's
to.
say you got Tunic. Now you're coming in for Vengeance Never Dies.
We
So
do
this-
also have the 2 extra cards from the
Yep,
Whirling Mist Blossom.
You
as
do.
well.
I'm not trying to use them just yet. I'm going for the balls out turn here.
Absolutely.
So, okay, you use your Tunic resource. You pop this. This is blue. We're going back to Prismatic Leyline. You get +3 here. So we're starting with a 3 plus a 3. So it's a 6 standard. And if Edge of Autumn was the last combat chain, when this hits a hero, banish it, and you play it again.
We
So-
can also use this as the turn that we use the Okana Scar Wraps as well. So let's say someone just in a desperate attempt tries to block 6. We can use these Scar Wraps. We could banish that Edge of Autumn. Because this is a Vengeance card, if we give it +1 and then it hits, we'll re-equip that Edge of Autumn.
Why would it have left play? When would it have left play?
You banish it for the attack reaction when you tap the Okana Scar Wraps. And then when it is in banish, then when the Vengeance card hits, it will be re-equipped from banish.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Very nasty.
So that card would vanish. We can play that again, plus the 2 cards in our hand. And we do have an Edge of Autumn back as well. With having done...
So is Ira now the whitest possible hero, or is Katsu still it?
Nope. I still think... Katsu's got to be the widest hero, but maybe Fi as well.
Yeah.
Fi can go pretty wide.
Yep. Yeah, but Ira can pull off some pretty crazy turns, and even if they block that Whirling Mist Blossom, and you got your Tunic counter up, you could flying kick them for 8, which is pretty gross.
The nice thing about Prismatic Leyline too is it is super cool to squeeze all 6 points of value out of prismatic ley line. But even if you just play a red and a blue and turn it into a 0 for 4, you're still reaching what you want to reach, right? That's still, or even if you play a yellow and a blue and you're making it a 0 for 5, you're still pushing it to the point where it needs to be. You could still turn that into a very good power card. There is a card, Ben Fox, that's not in your list though that I do want to talk about if we could.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Dual Threat.
Oh, Dual Threat. Okay.
I've been talking about this card. We have talked at length as a group about what heroes could actually make this card good, and I do think that IRA can make this card good. I think that if you play, if you pocket this card and you sit on it, you wait for the opportunity where you can go Edge of Autumn into a Vengeance Go Again card and use the Scar Wraps, make it hit, and get your Edge of Autumn back, you are loaded up for a 0 for 6 in your arsenal. All you have to do is slap that bad boy down, play your Edge of Autumn for 4 Go Again into another attack action for +3.
It's pretty good.
That's very good. I think it's really good. It's also a 0 cost yellow 3-lock. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I know that's not exactly, it's not Katsu perfect, right? It's not the same numbers that you have to reach, but it's still, those are still the numbers that like itch your brain as a Katsu player.
So do you think Crouching Tigers, I see you have one in here, but do you really think there's a way to make a tiger list with this? Or, I mean, there's so many varieties of things you could do. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to make a tiger, IRA list.
No.
There was a more viable way when we had the Kakara.
Yeah, we don't have Kakara anymore, sadly.
Unfortunately. Yeah, the Sins of Zen will curse all the ninjas, I guess.
I guess I don't know what that is. Sorry, one more time. How do you spell that?
It's
The Tiger Taming Kakara.
Yep.
So that is specific to Zen, which is why it's because it's Living Legend, right?
Yep. And I mean, I have my own thoughts and opinions on, weapons tied to heroes when they LL. I don't like it.
My
want
pistol,
to be able
my
to
pistol is gone, man. My pistol is gone. I'm so mad.
I'm a Johnny at heart, so I like to be creative and build decks. And when LSS takes all my weapons away, I don't like it.
Speaking of which, because this will come out after the fact, apparently rest in pieces, poor Azalea, because apparently that happened.
Yeah, I've got another deck that's LL'd, sadly, so I wasn't able to send her off with a nice farewell, but we got some good games in. We dominated some arrows. We had a good time, and I'm sad to see her go.
Tilted some locals.
Yeah.
So Matt, will do that to you. Since you're the newbie on this one, where do you want to go from here? What would you like to do?
Put me in the driver's seat, man. I didn't have my license. Man.
Deliver us some solid parcels.
So here we go.
Sorry,
it's a nice mailman joke. That's good.
I've been sitting on that all day, by the way. I literally was doing something, and I'm like, I got. Sorry.
No, that's good. I like that. So, Jacob, you mentioned earlier my comments about playing meta decks, but I do have the 5-minute IRA list that I made in the parking lot.
Oh,
that we can show if we want to talk about some jank.
Yeah. Do you have the actual FAB link, or do I?
I do as well.
Okay.
I do absolutely have. When I told you I sat there and I made that list in the parking lot, 5 minutes.
Excellent. For those of you that are watching this that may not know, we at our locals, it's really funny. We will go into the gym or into the LGS at like 6:30, 7 o'clock is when it starts. We'll go through a majority of the night, and then the armory ends, we'll say somewhere in the ballpark of like, maybe 10, I think it's 10:30 or 11. They may close somewhere in that ballpark. But there are times where we will fucking sit outside or stand outside around the cars and just talk for every bit of 30 minutes to an hour to sometimes it's been an hour and a half. Like I think the latest I've left is like at midnight. But we just brew the weirdest stuff. So here we go.
Oh, yeah.
This is your IRA's jank deck. Matt, the floor is yours.
This is my pummel IRA list. This
Pummel IRA.
happened. This happened after some very choice decisions in the parking lot, and after a very quick conversation with our own Ben Fox here, of the breakpoint IRA style, but just throwing like the random, like everyone expects Ninja to go wide, right? Everyone expects 4 to 5 chain links, 3 go again, 3 go again, 3 go again, 3 go. I thought, how funny would it be to just start pummeling motherfuckers with IRA? Nobody sees it. Nobody's gonna see that coming.
And with
Nobody's
the
gonna sit
pummel
down with their IRA deck and
specifically,
expect that.
you're choosing, because you can't choose option 1, you're choosing the second option, which is the attack action of 2 or less gains plus 3. And if
Two,
it
right?
hits, they discard a card, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And running with Edge of Bottom, right? It looks like it runs everything the same, except for a noticeable Crown of Providence. You're never going 3 chain links wide. That doesn't exist in this deck. It just doesn't. There's no.
And
Yeah. You could, I guess, but you're not gonna. There's just not gonna be the time to do it. I also, if you'll scroll back up, I think I have Tunic for this list. I think that's, and it's for the simple, we could have gone Heart and Cross Wraps, but it's still nice to be able to keep, a 3-card hand of 2-cost bomb, blue, pummel, Tunic, and just light somebody up that way.
Now, I noticed that this deck list is like $1,000, even though we call it jank. So, like, I'm assuming, I can go to the price section here, but, like, I'm going to take a wild guess that the most expensive cards are probably, Command and Conquer, Weakest Link, and Tunic, and Crown of Providence. So, like, the bulk of the deck is made up in 8 cards. That's pretty much...
Yes. Oh, we didn't say budget. We said jank.
We said jank. That is true.
We have to tell you, if you're going to do something stupid, you have to actually try really hard.
So here, this is my sample forehand, it looks like. What's funny is I bet you we could probably, like, for shits and giggles, Ben, it'd be really rough because I think you're on your phone, but we could try and actually, like, talk through a game on Talishar or something. Like, Ben, I don't know if you have an access to a computer near you, but we could, like...
No, I'm on my phone as well.
We could totally figure out a way to do that at some point.
Just this hand, right? Even this hand is, just to clear the hand, you've got the sink below. You can still do something like, it's turn 1 of the game, send through a CNC, right? There,
Pursuit
maybe pocket
of knowledge. Baby. That's super
or
rare.
just send the Pursuit of Knowledge. You know what I mean? Just send the Pursuit of Knowledge for shits and gigs, get it out of your deck, pitch to the bottom, cut down the size, and a Mana Conquer, then pocket that sink below. Just get ready for it.
Now, I do have a question because I don't actually remember. It says if it hits, your hero gets +1 intellect till end of turn. Does that mean you actually draw the additional card immediately, or does that mean that you get it on your next turn?
Nope. You, like, when you go to draw up at the end of your turn, your hand size is 5 that turn. Also, great pummel target.
That's really good with Victor. Or, well, actually, it's really good with the new... well, no, would it be the new Victor? The 5 intellect one?
Oh, Lyeth.
Or Lyeth, yeah. That'd be funny.
Yeah, very jank deck. It's basically mid-range. You basically are trying to use the breakpoint from IRA to push all of your 6s up to 7s. So you Kodachi 1, you send in basically a 2 for 7 breakpoint, and then try to find your pummels, pocket your pummels until you get them. Cards.
I was going to say, Jacob, as you're highlighting Dishonor, I do want to talk about something with this deck, and it's very noticeable. If you look through all of my blues, they are all 2-power combo cards that block 3 and are 0 cost. Except for, of course, like...
So you're not actually trying to use the second part of this card?
No. What I'm trying to use is the number in the bottom right or the bottom left corner and the keyword on it. That's all I care about.
So why is that important? Walk me through the combo piece.
So, Breeze Rider Boots, there is going to be at some point in the game where you're just going to have some combo cards in your hand and nothing really else to do. So, you are going to have to use that at some point. It's nice to get you out of a jam or even just to do something with those cards. But the main reason why those are the blues that I choose is because of even bigger than that. There are going to be times where now it's always going to be cool to be able to go like erase face for 6 into CNC for 7, right? Those are always going to be cool times. And you can do that off the back of these even bigger than that. But to set up an even bigger than that, you have to do at least 1 point of physical damage.
Which that's in your original Katsu list that I have laying around in a well,
yes.
My bag's not here, but the version you originally had used these in there as well.
I still run this card.
Yeah.
I still run this card. I love this card. I run yellows of it in Katsu. I run reds of it in here because the onus is more to dig for a blue or something to pitch to be able to use your pummels or just to be able to play out, your CNC or your cut down to size or your enact vengeance or anything like that. That's all that it's for. The quicken token's nice. You can always use it on the next turn if you want because you don't have to set this deck up with Edge of Autumn. I mean, it's cool to do, but whatever. Like I said, the even bigger than that is mostly just to be able to dig through and find pitch when you need to. It just draws you a card. It's nice. But I love even bigger than that. I will sing its praises till the day that I quit playing this game. Like, it is just a bonkers card, especially in any deck that can throw out any deck that plays daggers. Even bigger than that's insane. Draws you a card. Draws you a card, makes you a quicken token. I mean, come on.
So what's the importance of Zen state? I know we've seen that in several of these lists, but why is getting a Zen state, especially off of Fine Center, why is that critical or useful or?
Now in this list, it is not. But in general, Zen state, so most ingrained players and most new players even will learn that, this is very much the game of threes, right? To even consider a deck viable, it's got to be, 3 points of value somewhere. It's got to be, at least a 3 block if it's going to do X, or it's got to be, at least a 3 power if it's going to do Y. So to break flesh and blood math, you try to play as many break points as possible. That's why break points is such a keyword in our game and such a keyword in flesh and blood conversation. Excuse me, I got to bring up my cat fight real quick. Wait.
So hold the line, which is a 0, block 2, blue, pitch. Mm-hmm. Does that fall into the rule of 3?
So it has that ability on it that says if an opponent has drawn 2 or more cards, you prevent the next, 3 damage. Mm-hmm. That turns that into a 0 for 5. That absolutely fits that rule, right? So that card at base value at its worst is either a 2 at reaction speed, which is nice, or it is a blue pitch, which is always nice as well. Or again, it could be as much as 5. It could block 5. When you're playing into that mid range, and if you're really playing into trying to set up, especially a turn where you're going to try to disrupt people, they're going to be hammering back with whatever they can. So the sink belows are super important. The flick flacks are super important. Being able to pad your life total. Again, when you're playing something stupid and janky, you have to assume that it's not going to work when you play it. You have to try to survive and pad yourself as much as possible. The E-pots are even in there as just a way. There are going to be times where you're going to have endless go again because you're ninja and quicken tokens, and sometimes you're just going to try to swing a sword, or you're going to keep a hand of a sword into a bittering thorns. And being able to stick a pot after some or keep your tempo, and then essentially have free pummel resource right there. So the deck just that's all that it's trying to do. It's just trying to play some weird break points, trying to pummel, trying to disrupt, trying to do stuff that Ninja is really not supposed to do. It's trying to play Ninja as un-Ninja-like as possible.
It's a very meme Ninja deck.
It's very.
So Ben, what's your take on IRA as a whole? We've talked, we got multiple decks here. We've gone over a couple of Katsu decks, a couple of IRA decks. What does the Ninja class get to look forward to? Because one of the things that's coming up, and I'm going to tie it in slightly to the Super Slam. And I know we don't know a whole hell of a lot about it yet, but one of the big factors they've talked about is that the expansion slot's going to be just bonkers.
Expanded.
Yeah.
Granted.
So, do you foresee a scenario where we get super extra support for every class, and then that helps? Like, I don't know. I've been thinking about that quite a bit lately.
Yeah. Man, if it's like Crucible of War and there's like tons of weapons in this set, and we get like weapons for every class or like something like Dynasty, I think that would be super fun because LSS gave us this IRA deck because they're like, oh, well, Katsu's good. So we probably need to give IRA some other kind of archetype to have an actual deck with when Kodachis leave. Because when Katsu LLs and Kodachis are gone, you can no longer run mid-range IRA. That whole deck type just dies with Katsu. So they gave us this new IRA deck with this new Edge of Autumn archetype to replace Katsu once he LLs. So with the ninja class, we definitely could use another weapon or two, and I hope that in Super Slam, like we get some new weapons, like not just for ninja, but it'd be cool if it was like every hero got some new weapons, and like Crew and Dynasty are some of my favorite sets because of that. We got just like they're like here's some cool weapons. You can go try to build these super janky weird decks with Sandscour Great Bows or the Rock. For KO, everybody's like, how do I rock? It's like, oh, well, if you had the Brock and you were trying to play that and try to figure it out, now you've been rewarded because Tough Nut is going to be able to play the Rock and be able to.
You smell it, Ben Fox?
Yeah, the Rock is definitely going to be cooking with Tough Nut. Yeah, that's just being able to send 3 for 7 unpreventable and then being able to block 9 every turn is going to be kind of crazy.
Where did they publish that they were going to do a crap ton of expansion cards? I was trying to find that.
They had a set breakdown, I thought.
Yeah, it might be in the set breakdown.
I'm so pumped for this next set. I really am. I love the Deathmatch Arena. Heavy Hitters was my favorite set that we've had.
So I do want to touch on that. So there's been a lot of discussion I've seen online about, with you can love FAB, but you don't have to love every set. So Matt, specifically, I want you to kind of maybe walk me through we'll call it Heavy Hitters, Rosetta, Hunted, High Seas, and now Super Slam. Walk me through your ebbs and flows of those sets, because I know personally what you told me about a couple of them, but I just want maybe somebody from the outside to kind of see what a player that is, I would say, you're dedicated to the game. I mean, you truly play the game a lot. So it's not that you don't want to play Flesh and Blood, but there are sets that you seem to be much more into, aka this new Super Slam, as an example.
Oh, yeah.
But like, walk me through that old stuff.
A lot of what gets me interested in a set. Now, at one point, I did try to I want to build a new hero out of every set, but that was back when I had 2 decks that I really cared about. I had a Katsu deck and a Rhinar deck. And so I wanted to expand myself. I built Riptide for a little bit, ended up, getting rid of Riptide because I just did not enjoy that. And then I built a Tech Lovison deck, which you now lovely have most of the pieces of, because I built it and I tried a bunch of different ways to build it, and it just was what it was. Ended up getting a Leviathan deck. But so from what really gets me into a set is now if it touches into one of the classes that I really enjoy, because you will burn yourself out of this game if you try to build everything. If you try to just go hero to hero, I want to build this specific hero, then I want to build this specific hero from this class, and I want to try this new High Seas hero, and now I want to build, you're going to burn yourself out. The game is just kind of getting to a price point now where that's just not, if you want to do that, that's great. I'm never going to be the person that's going to tell anybody how they should enjoy the game. But like I said, for me, Heavy Hitters was great because I'm a huge Rhinar stan. I still, to this day, think Rhinar is the best hero in the game. Just nobody's cracked the code yet, including myself. I know I religiously watch that Savage Land News channel. That guy is so awesome. Just because I love that there's a whole group of dudes out there for Rhinar. But so that brought me into Heavy Hitters, and then that meta was just so much fun. And then moving forward, what did we have after Heavy Hitters? It was Part the Mistvale, right?
Mm-hmm.
part of the misfail I wanted to be into. I again as a combo ninja player, I should have really gotten into that set. But I had kind of taken my time trying to build Zen, and I'd watched Zen be played, and I wasn't really a huge fan of the style. And then I, like most people, had seen, how busted he was, and I couldn't jump on it. I figured it was gonna be one of those Starvo situations where he was gonna disappear, and I was kind of glad that I didn't jump into that. So the next set after that was Rosetta. I love Wizard, so that was another set that I just kind of dove into. I was so hyped to build a Cilio. I built a Brainstorm Kano deck before I'd actually built a real Kano deck. So when I saw a Cilio and I saw his hero ability of discard an instant draw card, that's immediately where my mind went to. And I was like, oh shit, Dynasty's a beta set. They're going to bring Brainstorm back. This is the Brainstorm set. And there went all the books. So it was...
Yep. Books are gone.
Not the
Books
Brainstorm
went bye-bye.
set.
They don't want us to
The
learn
books were
nothing.
burnt. The books were all burnt. And then after Rosetta was the Hunted. I play Fi, so the Hunted was a set that I didn't dive all the way into because I am not a traditional lover of Ninja. It's going to sound so blasphemous an hour and a half into us chatting about Ninja, but I love what Katsu does, and I love what Fi does. But I don't love the death by 1,000 cuts, really wide chain links. And really, I think it just boils down to I'm just a Syndra hater. I don't know any other way to describe it. She's cool. She's awesome. I like what she does. She's just too fragile for what I enjoy. And then High Seas. I sat out of High Seas because I thought High Seas was fucking stupid. I'll be 100% honest. When Gravy Bones and Scuba Salty Sea Dog and Puffin and Polly Cranka and Whaler Humperdinck, all these names, it broke the immersion too much for me in a game that I thought was kind of geared more towards a mature audience, and it bumbled a little too hard into the silly. I don't mind immersion breaking, and I certainly don't mind silly things too, right? We're going to talk about Super Slam, and I'm going to look like a huge hypocrite because, of course, when it's the campiness that I like, I don't mind it, right? But to me, it broke the immersion because it made me feel silly to say the name of the cards. It was just too goofy, and I'm glad that some people like that. I'm glad that, obviously the set itself had issues with distribution, and it was one of those crazy on release, the demand was so nuts, but then card prices kind of still dropped to actually affordable prices. So in the end, it was just kind of some weird hype, but that was a set that I definitely sat out of. I wasn't interested by any of the new heroes. I wasn't interested by Necromancer. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think, my pattern is just following anything within my class that I enjoy. I'm certainly a player that's kind of limited by my budget as well. So that's another factor that I have. If it weren't for, me getting, my hookup from my shop, for basically my handshake homie hookup, I probably wouldn't be nearly as invested in the game as I am. But so I kind of, that also drives my factor as well. Affordability, you can't buy everything all the time.
Can't play everything either. There's not enough time.
I tried. Oh, hi, Luna. Sorry, my dog.
Just because
I
was gonna say I have 7-8 different decks, and I think you guys watch me play each deck a different week for 2 months. You can go for real 2 months without playing one of your decks sometimes.
So Matt,
3 months sometimes.
You probably haven't seen this, but Ben, you probably have at some point. This is a binder, obviously. Now, this specific binder is what I attempted to try to do, and I have had to since pause this whole endeavor. In this binder is WTR. This is a master set of WTR Unlimited. What that means is that is every card, foil, non-foil, of the Unlimited. And in some scenarios, the Farewell to Welcome to Wraith event, like you mentioned Reinhardt earlier, but like they gave out the 4 heroes that have the cold foil. So this is essentially a master list up to and including the ridiculousness of trying to track down every token. So there is, each of these tokens represents, there are 26 unique tokens, because some of them are double-sided. Some of them came from the unlimited Belgian boxes. Some of them came from the unlimited Japanese boxes, so on and so forth. But the moral of the story is I was trying to complete a actual full master set, and like there's a foil Enlightened Strike in here. There's a foil Drone of Brutality, all of those foil snatches. This is an effort, something that took way too long to accomplish. And behind me, I did it all the way up through Bright Lights is kind of where I kind of paused, because I realized I can't afford to keep doing that. Like, I'm not trying to say that I get it. It's a first world problem. But like at a certain point, I realized that if I can't get every version of the card, why the hell am I trying to collect the set? Like, I can get all the commons, I can get all the rares, I can get most of the Majestics. But when I start looking at some of the marbles and stuff,
Yeah, some of them are crazy. What we got, like the Emperor Marvel. We've got,
and that's important for the game. I think it's nice to have cards that are unobtainium. You know, very stupid rare.
Yep, stupid rare, and that's okay. That's fine. If you're a collector, though, that's a problem, because then you're just like, what do I do? I have to go shell out, $800 or whatever for this CNC or this. Oh yeah, the Emperor, right?
But I can play with my $2 rainbow foil graded 9 Emperor, which I didn't know what I was doing, and I spent $15 to $20 to grade a $2 card, because fuck me and my uneducated self of not knowing that it's not worth it. I mean, it got a 10
That's
surface.
what you get for slabbing playable cards.
Yeah. So this is my reminder to myself that I have adventured down a path, and Matt, you probably haven't seen this, so I'll show you. It's kind of funny, because I don't bring this to the armory. Oh. This is my equipment suite.
All heroes, all classes.
So, starting with WTR, Brave Forge Bracers, Scabskin Leathers, Mask of Momentum, my 9.5, this one actually graded pretty good. It's a 9.5 tunic. So, like, the other ones I have over, like, if they're not sitting in here, they're sitting somewhere else. But then I go through Arcane Rising, so there's my Hardened Cross Straps. I still have 2 of those. And I have, like, the Teklo Foundry Heart. I got a 9. So like I went through, and because I had essentially, this is near and dear to his heart, my Storm Striders. It's only a 9, but
what a beautiful card, dude.
What I attempted to try to do was not only collect the full set, but have one of every legendary, so that I could build every deck that somebody threw at me. And that's another thing I had to kind of start pausing when I got toward the end, because it became very complicated.
That gets expensive real quick. I do that, but only for the classes that I care about and play, because if you have, there's some deck that might not be good now, but in the future, like, that one really random legendary all of a sudden becomes super, super viable in the future.
Quick Knives.
Oh,
Quick Knives went from what, $70 to 130, 160 whenever Syndra came out.
Yeah, it was dirt cheap for the longest time, and then just went to like $150 overnight. So crazy, like just things like that. I play usually Ninja, Assassin, Warrior, and then a little bit of Ranger. But those 3 are my main classes, and that's what I do. Is I pick up all my staples for those classes when they come out, and try to do master sets of those cards, and that's it.
I don't know where this came from, by the way. I found it I was digging through some stuff earlier. It's a paper playmat that has the 2019 sample copyright. It's not the IRA one, but
is it from the Rhinar versus Dorinthia deck?
No. This is just. that wouldn't have fit in the box. That's
Oh
huge.
no, yeah, you're right.
That's really strange. What would that have come in? Was that like
I,
a welcome kit or appreciation kit of some kind?
I don't know. I know that somehow I got it, and I don't quite remember. It's kind of like in the back corner here. I have the wall scroll for the whole like welcome to Wraith map, which is kind of fun. But I don't know. I
Nice.
digress. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think like, just because you take a set off, it doesn't mean that you hate the game or like it just means that that set you're just not into that set. So for me, like when Super Saiyan comes out, the only cards I'm going to need from it are going to be generics and cards that I find in the expansion slot, and that's okay. Like it's okay to take sets off and save your money up and wait for the next set that comes out that you're really into, and try not to burn yourself out and just give yourself more time to spend playing the characters that you already love and enjoy, because there's not enough time usually to play all the characters. I mean, between 3 classes, I think I have 9 different heroes that I can play. So at any given time, like that's a lot to choose from at a given week. And if you're playing 5, 6, 7 classes, like you're not going to be able to get to them and play them at every armory or event.
And I agree. I mean, look at me. I've basically played either a factory armory deck at our armories for the last couple of months, whether it was Dash, whether it was Max, whether it was Gravy. Hell, I'll try IRA stock just at least once. I'm going to try IRA at least one stock. Then I tried my really ridiculous Max Nitro deck, my really ridiculous Teklo deck, right? I'm losing all the time, but it's not because I'm not having fun, but it's because I'm using stock or just fucking shit against the wall decks.
Listen, it's Ben Fox's fault that we're all this competitive. This is a little story time right here.
Okay,
story time.
Go ahead.
So when we all started playing, so it started with myself, the other Ben, and we had another gentleman that was playing with us, but he has since stopped playing. We used to play at a shop that was in just the other like strip mall, like just kind of adjacent to us. And eventually they were just like kicking us out at like 7:30. We're like, this sucks. We have to go play somewhere else. So we started playing at the shop that we play at now, Grandmaster Games. And through just like a Facebook, like, does anybody in Indy play Flesh and Blood? Ben Fox came and played with us. Well, me and the other Ben were about as good as we were. We were okay. We had just kind of really started taking the game seriously then. And I mean, we had staple cards. We had good cards just because we're CDH players, so we were going to buy good cards. And Ben Fox came in and just kicked the shit out of us, dude, for like 2 months straight. Like we couldn't buy a win. We couldn't even offer him some packs and dangle something shiny in front of him to let him win a game or two. So it just, after that, like me and the other Ben, and then eventually, we got some more people to start joining us regularly. And it's like, dude, our group, you have to know your shit. You have to be on your toes.
Sometimes we get 10-person armories now, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. It's growing, which is good to see.
It's nice.
It truly is, exciting to see that we got to the point now where we have the amount of people that are showing up, even at a semi-regular basis. Not that it's, I don't know, not every week, but it's pretty damn close. So
yeah, and you don't have to be like. I mean, our shop is very casually competitive. We've all got the cards and we can all build the best decks, but we are very like casual and friendly to people. And we're not a bunch of spikes sitting down at the table trying to just grind games and just
until we play IRA, then we are.
Yeah. It's like this game is more. I think I've heard other people talk about like there needs to be LSS should cater more towards the Timmies and the Johnnies of the card games instead of just the spikes, because that's what creates more of a wholesome, more of a cohesive community, is having all these different personality types. I consider myself more of a Johnny, and I think Jacob, you're more of a Timmy, and Matt, you're just some combo guy. So I think would you probably be like a
describe those for the people
Johnny
that may not
player.
know. So what's a Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny's like you love the creativity of a card game. So you love creating decks, you love putting new combos together. You love researching cards. You like finding these really cool interactions and nuances. Like you like exploring the creativity of built deck building and then expressing yourself and playing heroes that you really like playing. And then you've got Spike on the other hand, whose mission literally is just to beat the other person at all costs. It is literally win at all costs. It is show up, play whatever net deck you find on the interwebs or whatever.
It's ignore CNC pummel until someone calls you out on it.
Ignore CNC pummel. Motherfucker.
Or you could do that if that's your prerogative. You could also do that. But yeah, that's the Spike mentality: is win at all costs, show up to the event, beat the other person on the ground, walk away, grab your prize money, and leave. But that's not sustainable long term for a community or a game. Is to just have spikes running around everywhere, because it disenfranchises other people. So you got to have some Timmies in here who like showing up with, some really oddball deck that might work, one time out of 100, but when it does go off that one time, dang man, that was really cool, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna play it.
Just wait till I do my all generic, the new all generic 5 intellect with like a bunch of fucking 10. What are those? The not that all you got the
10-foot tall and strong.
10-foot tall and bulletproof. I totally want to find a way to like quicken token 2 of those. Like,
oh yeah, I think Lyeth is going to be really interesting. Like you can just like stack up intellect points. You could probably do like Helm of Eisen's Reach, the one that gives the really jank, like the common from Welcome to Wrath that gives you an intellect point, and then you could do the intellect point from the new amulet, or pursuit of knowledge to give yourself another intellect point. Yeah, there's just like so many things like that where it's just like, I'm going to try to put together this really jank deck and just see if it works and just have fun with it. Like I think that's a really cool part of the game, is just
I would say 90% of my decks are jank, because ever since Baltimore I've been like desperately trying to get Nitro Mechanoid to work. Whether that's in Max, whether it's in Dash originally, or shit, I'm brewing a puffin Nitro Mechanoid deck, because why the hell not? Which I know is not the topic of the IRA stuff today, but like, I'll tell you, I'm gonna find a way to crank that cog, and I'm gonna make it happen. Like it's
heavy at heart, and you will find a way to make it work.
So circling back on IRA, because I feel like we've devolved. Any ninja shenanigans, Matt? Where do you want to go with this? I'm letting this be your time to shine, man. We're on your clock. We're about an hour in, technically, maybe a little bit more than an hour. I started the stopwatch a little bit later, so we got
I'm the worst person to give the reins to. My ADHD will have us sprinting all over the place, but we'll keep it still in the vein of ninja.
Hey, if you want a 10-minute tangent, I got a 10-minute timer on you. You want to go anywhere in the game, you go. Feel free. I'm curious. I like living in other people's minds for a little bit.
Ben Fox is just giving me the please don't eyes. He knows how crazy this could get. He knows how devolved I could get. Man, I will just go on a little bit of a tangent. I'll just kind of brag about our community a little bit and just our shop as it is. I have loved. We've seen some players come from some other games and join our community, and we've kind of watched them go from uncivilized Yu-Gi-Oh buffoons to becoming, more refined flesh and blood gentlemen. And it's been nice. It's really cool to see like new people come in, and everybody just starts reaching in their binders and bags and just, what hero do you play? Here's a handful of cards. Be better, be good. Here you go. We're very proxy friendly. We've had people come with fully proxy decks, because it's like, I want to start the game, but I don't want to put all this money into it and then not like it or not like this hero. And, like Ben Fox was saying with the casual competitive mindset, the competitive part about our personal community is just, we all want to play really good. Like we want to play really good decks. We want to play really well. We want to take the stuff that we really like, and we want to we want to win with the stuff that we like. We don't want to win in the ways that we want to win per se, which I think is what separates casual truly from competitive. You know, if I wanted to win in the way that I wanted to win, I would never have taken apart Brainstorm Kano. I would just keep that deck and I would lose every single day with it, and I would be sad all the time, and I would go, eventually one time I'm going to fire this off. Everyone's going to respect me because I brainstormed. I hold on to it, but we want to squeeze value out of the game. We constantly, you know, a handful of us will chat regularly throughout the week, and we'll talk about small interactions, minute combos, and how do I squeeze the most amount of value. And I think I talked for a week straight about Acilio, about what parts of the chain can I really devastate somebody with a Gone in the Flash, you know, like
Yep.
we love breaking down the game as much as possible. I think it does happen to be just a lot of us are Johnnies. So we love just the intricacy of the game. We love, okay, well, if they can, okay, so how can they try to stop this? Can they can react here, or they can use this as an instant. But if I wait until this moment, then if I react with an instant, then like we're just very nuanced into the game, and not for fame, not for glory, not for prizes, not for riches, for monies, for hoes, for bitches, none of that stuff. We just do it for the love of the game. You know what I mean? It's a good time.
Well, I think the Armory Pack pricing really helped change the. I enjoy still playing my jank decks, but I enjoy playing them more knowing that I'm not going to be penalized, that I'm never getting crap at all. Like, I mean, you guys can give me crap. Like, that's fine. I accept that. But what I'm saying is, like, I still at least get the participation award, which is great because now I have an opportunity to, you know what, somewhere, hold on.
Gen packs are great. I think that was cool. Like the best ideas that LSS has come out with. Like, one of the best ideas, just to create a better community and help the LGS out.
Well, and it's akin to like the Pokemon prize packs, right? Like it's you know, very similar, but it is a good direction, right? That's borrowing an idea that is a good idea, because it does.
Yep.
It creates a, you know, second place to very last place all get the same prize per se. You know what I mean? The only cool thing is if you win, you get an extra prize.
To celebrate you joining the show for the first time, this is my Box O random sealed stuff. So this is what you can choose from. We have Heavy Hitters, Part the Mistveil. We have, let's see here, Outsiders, Tales of Aria. We have Monarch. We have Uprising, Bright Lights, more. This is Hunted. We have History Pack. We have Rosetta. I can Gym Pack 1. I have 2 of those. Technically, you can pick one of those. I guess. Oh wow. I have 2 of these. I didn't think I had 2. I have 2 gold packs. I will have to pass on the. I have an alpha pack. I did buy those to keep forever. And technically, I have high seas. So those are your options. Is there anything that calls your privy to open?
Absolutely, Heavy Hitters.
Heavy Hitters. Okay.
I could have you rip for value. I could do all that stuff, but I want to see some Heavy Hitters cards.
We got 2.
You know,
BitFox, choose for me. I'm never good about this. My RNG is terrible because I play Brute. I have to save it all for my scap skins.
Or left. You're
this
right.
One?
No, you're right.
This one?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Crack in the pack.
Let's go Deathmatch Arena.
Deathmatch Arena, let's go.
Baby,
if I remember right, the rule of your channel is if you pull a Deathmatch Arena, you have to give it to me at our next armory.
Say what? One more time?
If I remember right, the rule from your channel is if you pull a Deathmatch Arena, you have to give it to me at our next armory, I believe.
Hey, I mean, if you're able to knock out that Prism, then, you know, that's not a bad deal. Because isn't this, it's only a cold foil on these, isn't it?
It is only a cold foil, which I have some thoughts about, but...
All right.
Ooh.
So, first card. What do we got? We got Can
Goblin.
I go? Can I fade to an over? Do I have an overhead? You know what? I'll do it this way. This is fine. You can still see it, right?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So, we got Goblet of the Blood.
Is that a Concuss?
Yeah, Concuss is a fun card. I like that.
Draw
swords.
It's not a bad one.
Back cut, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Thunk. Thunk, baby. What
Oh,
do we
yeah.
got? Vigorous wind up. Now, Rally the Real Guard, that's a fun. I like that card. That's pretty sweet.
Cool.
What do we get? We got Wage Might. Victor.
Mm.
Just kidding. Yeah, Victor kind of like that one. What do we get? We got the Vigorous Girthy Boys.
Ooh.
Wage
You love some
agility.
vigorous girth.
We're waging. We're hitting performance. We're
Performance
performancing.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
That's the attack one.
We got. Are we to the rares yet? That was the rare. So
That's
we
the
got
foil.
Big Boop. Big Boop, and we got Betsy as the back card. What do we get next? We got a.
No hero.
Oh, we got.
Oh shit! Look, we got a fucking Marvel.
What? Oh, it is a Marvel.
What?
Look,
Heck yeah!
Marvel Young Victor.
It looks like just a token from where we're sitting.
It's not a Betsy.
It's not Betsy, but it's a Marvel. We'll take it.
For those that don't know, I've been trying to get a stupid adult Betsy, just a regular run-of-the-mill effing Betsy. But we got a Victor, so you know what? That means I now need to build a Victor deck like that.
I have a Victor list for you.
You should do UPF. That would be a fun UPF deck.
There you go. I play the shit out of Victor. Victor's so much fun.
And you know what's funny, right? This was in the packs that were sealed, that were slated to never be opened. So that just tells you that, like, in that box, there could be wild stuff, like just unhinged things.
That's great.
It could have
And-
only been a Marvel. It has to. I'm telling you, it's the brute RNG, dude. If you talk bad about it, Scabskins will bless you. Okay, I am gonna get 3 1s in a row the next time I roll Scabskins. But that's
I will tell you though, from this particular set, I am missing almost every single legendary. Like, I don't have the cards I need. I don't have the Fabled. Like, granted, that's a cold foil, right? It would have been much cooler to have the Fabled because that is one card that obviously I don't have. However, like, in general, it is wild to have hit a. Now that's a Japanese pack, right? This is the paper, or this is the plastic, not the Belgian ones. So, good
Yeah, that's
call.
fun.
Good call.
Yeah, it's a sin for them to have the plastic packs. I'm gonna be honest with you. The paper packs are so much superior. Like, are so more superior to the plastic packs. It's insane.
I think they feel more fun to open.
They do.
They just
It
feel
is.
like cracking this. This feels like this. I love the feel of just opening paper packs. It's great.
When I used to sell Everfest packs, I used to sniff them because they would smell like cocoa.
I do need to show you something interesting. So this is my pink binder. The pink binder is pretty important. The pink binder. Oh, I lost it. It fell out. My giant chaos orb.
Oh.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Are you gonna up and sprinkle it on the table?
But inside of here, Matt, I don't know if I'll have to bring this to show you next time in person. But like, this is all the baubles. I've had a bunch of people I've met over the years sign these. So like Red Zone
yeah.
Rogue, you know, blah blah blah. These are a bunch of Magic cards, double sided or misprint Flesh and Blood cards. But why I wanted to show this to you, I have some artist proofs and some other random crap in here. But if I go far enough back in this, after I get past all the signed baubles, yes, you do have a Rudy card in here, which that's another fun hero I'd love to tech with. Kind of ridiculous. Where is it? My Art of War page. Yay.
I too have a jail page.
All the tables. I'm almost there. Hold on, gotta find it. It's my Codex page, my Yu-Gi-Oh page. So there's all like marble dragons and whatnot.
They're so pretty.
They're so cool.
Exodia. I want there to be an Exodia in the game.
You're playing it, brother, from Tech Lovison.
But this is why I was kind of giggling, is I already bought these, so like now technically I can add that to my extra.
Hey.
So
Try to get a puffin. Need you on puffin.
Jacob, you need to build Puffin.
You do. You really do.
I feel like we should have a whole, like, episode or a whole like session on Puffin. Like that's the next thing.
I'm always down to do that. I am
I
super
have
down
most-
for a whole deck brew episode.
I have most of the stuff. Like I'm missing still some important things, but I got most of it. Is my phone dead? My phone is actually dead. So I can no longer tell you how it's about an hour, a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Got some good chat, man.
Yeah, no, this has been good. Thanks for having us on again, Jacob.
I got the young Betsy, not the adult Betsy.
Oh,
And that's what happens when you put Marvel heroes or heroes as Majestics.
yes. I'm glad that they finally switched back to double-sided tokens with your hero.
Now, here's going to be the cool thing. Are we going back to where you could get, like, young and old flipped? Because my Katsu, I can still do young and old. I can flip them at any time.
And
Yeah,
that's specific to certain. I think that's like Belgium print in WTR.
Yeah, we stopped doing it in Outsiders. After Outsiders, you couldn't. They refused to put the adult because they were tokens. Adult heroes are still tokens, but you could not get an adult one side and a young the other side.
And it's funny you say that because somewhere over in this stack of crap, I have. It's probably not easy to get to. I was working on a complete list of every adult hero in a token set so that I could basically have one of every hero, and then the joke would be I want to build one of every deck, and then I shuffle the tokens, and what I deal out is the hero I play.
That's pretty cool. I've reached the point where I have so many decks in my backpack, I kind of just have to roll dice and pick one of them.
The one deck I haven't actually built because I didn't open it yet is Jarl. I have it still because I kept it sealed because I was like, if I can only get one of these, I'm going to leave it sealed. But the only thing I really need from here that's unique is like the weapon, a couple of pieces of armor, and the rest of it's not unique, I don't think.
Yeah, the equipment's all unique. Weapon, yeah, I don't know what. Maybe there's the Frozen to Death. I think that was unique. That's a really good one.
Yep. The well, there's a handful of like the Jarl specializations, like the Unforgetting, Unforgiving, and
Yeah, and there seemed like there's like how many Majestics did that deck have versus IRA? Because I felt like IRA.
I mean, the legendary that you get in there is only $5. So like, I could basically keep that sealed. Go buy the legendary gauntlets, Jarl for $3, Crumble to Eternity for $1.50, Channel Mount Eisen for $1.40, Frozen to Death for $3, and essentially leave that sealed. And then the rest of it is all repeat stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know what our next Origins deck is going to be.
Ooh, that's good because we have a couple of hero. I mean, there's if you heard of the website called Legendary Stories.
Nope.
I'm gonna see if I can type it right the first time. There we go. Boom, boom, baby. All right, I'm gonna flip over to this here in a second. Boom. All right, there we go. It's probably backwards for those that are reading it, but whatever. So legendarystories.net is basically, it takes all of the lore stories and it consolidates them and makes it searchable. So like there is a part in here that also talks about the weapons, the language, the FAQs, abouts, but if I go and look up Jarl, there is Heroes of Wraith. So this is Jarl. But then let's say I want to go and look up
IRA
data sheet characters. This is what it is. This is a full list of every MFN person who has been named on a card or a location. And this is where my brain has been like, right? Like, okay, he was originally on Mangle and it was unknown. So
yep.
I start looking at some of these cards and like, okay, could we get, Jeeves who's on Rifting, and then you got flavor text and stuff. Could you get further down here, right? Like, let's just pick on somebody. Yoji, right? He's on multiple cards. So is there
We have a
somebody that
Yoji
we've
hero, don't we?
heard of? So like Scuba is on Zombie Dog, even though I know you don't like that one. Rex Biggin is on Big Shot. But
Rex.
some of these have photos of the person because they're on the card.
Well, we had Victor Goldbane on That All You Got, and then we finally got him as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dr. Mortimer is another idea. The Fixer.
He would be a cool character if we go back to Outsiders.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for it. The one thing I'm truly, truly holding out for is Typonus as like an actual draconic wizard. Yeah.
Because he is a wizard.
He is. He is. And if we get a royal draconic wizard.
So let's talk about the Emperor for a second, because I know you play wizard. Like, I'm just genuinely curious. So, like, the fact that it's royal and draconic.
See, the Emperor is going to be I'm not going to be as well versed in the Emperor, because to me he's more of he's so unique. He's so unique in his own right. He plays so differently. I mean, Ben Fox, I think you actually played the Emperor.
Yeah, I did. So he basically is a warrior wizard because in the lore, he's like one of the very few people in Wrath that is actually like truly dual talented, was how they kind of described it. Like, he was so powerful that he could basically have two base classes and talent. So like, yeah, his warrior aspect was kind of strange. Like, when you built him, right, he was kind of like a battle mage. You would basically just try to chip your opponent down until you got to the point where you could use Storm Striders and then use Emeritus Scolding to basically blast them for another 6 or so point of damage at instant speed in Blitz, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, I played him for a while, and that was a fun deck. But yeah, lore wise, yeah, he being able to only play reds, I think is really cool. I think they should do that for a lot more heroes at some point. Is just to say, like, this hero can only play blues, and then that would be a really cool deck building restriction, or a deck building a way for the hero, or you could only play yellows. Like, if you want to go back to Monarch, and you could have a hero. I've always wanted a Light Ranger. So like, if you had a Light Ranger you could only play yellow cards in your deck.
I mean, it's the lowest young hero hit points compared to, like, Prism Advent is the next lowest.
Yeah.
He's tied with Kano. Kano has 15 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can't forget my boy Kano.
Yeah. Why does he not show up in here?
Ben Fox, just to kind of expand on what you were saying, I'd love to see something like a Brute that says you can only include cards with 6 or more power in your deck. Like, just little deck building restrictions like that. I thought KO was so interesting when he first came out. And first of all, I'm so sorry you guys are going to hear my cat shouting for a little bit. This is his nightly routine. He'll grab a toy and he'll shout at me and mount it. But going from being a Rhinar stan to seeing KO, I was so jealous. I have since built my KO deck, and it's so much fun, but I was so jealous just that it gave you it took away the deck building restriction that Brute suffered, and it just made such this cool, consistent, like, blazing fast aggro deck. I was so jealous. Yeah. It is so much fun.
From KO 2 was like, all your 5s now become 6s in your deck. Like, that opened up that pool of cards so much more. Like, basically just made like another third more cards that you could play with in your deck, or have access to deck building, which is crazy.
Well, the issue with Brute classically is bad blues, quote unquote bad blues, right? Because you could run good blue cards, but it's just Wreck-A-Romp is the only probably non-talented 6 power blue card we're ever going to get. It's probably Reinhar's fault for that, but it's just all these 5 power blue cards that previously just were kind of more liability in Rhinar, or kind of liability, you just really didn't run them in Levi because you didn't need to. It just opened up the door on blue pack calls. You know what I mean? Blue agile windups, blue mighty windups, things that, if you had abundance of blue, you could just toss them out and still get all the value you needed. You could run the wild rides and pulpings and all that other fun stuff. It did. It really opened up a lot of it. It made a really, really fun brute in a very easy, very masticatable way.
So here's a question for you. I highlighted Blaze a second ago. Now Blaze at this point still technically is only available as a promo. There's a whole world on that. But what do you think of Blaze Firemine, the new Bravo flattering showman, and
I love
these adjudicator heroes, which, right, like at the moment, those are kind of relegated to more UPF, I think. But if we were to get the group at Grandmaster to say, let's play a blitz or let's play something that allows us to play these young heroes, I'm going to gravitate towards certain ones. But like, would you try a Blaze if that was an opportunity for you? Like, why some of these heroes here? Now, granted, there's also the new stuff that's coming out that specifically say pit fighter, which that's the new nomenclature to restrict them to UPF. But what are your thoughts on some of these more fringe ones?
So, I'll talk about Blaze a little bit first. I really do want to touch on Bravo because I very much am a big fan of the new way that Bravo is being built. But Blaze first. I love it. I love that it still keeps the flavor of Wizard, of base Wizard, of just being able to instant speed out these cards. I love that it doesn't reward you for being a battle mage. I don't mind the battle mages. I really enjoy playing Acilio. I really like Verdance. I love that they're still combo centric, but to me, I love that Wizard is just this, like, it just plays the game so differently than everybody else. I think it's very flavorful, right? The opting to me is like you're gaining insight, you're gaining knowledge, and then you're using that knowledge to put something together, in some sort of spell to blast somebody with. I think it's really cool. It did seem like it was really powerful when it first came out. I think that Wizard should not belong in Blitz, in my personal opinion. I think that a basic Wildfire combo, or not even a basic Wildfire combo, but just Wildfire combos that you could put together, insane. I mean, in Blitz, if you have a Tunic Pitch, a blue, and then a Snapback and a Wildfire and a Storm Striders, I mean, you're going to nuke somebody for whatever that would be, right? You're going to nuke somebody for 4 plus the 3, so 11. So you can kill somebody over half their life total if they just tap one out of it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I think it should really just be like Project Blue and just do that. Just leave it at that and just abandon it.
If Project Blue's still in that thing of like no Majestics, no specializations, like I think that's what Blitz should be. Blitz can still be fast without having the entire full catalog, Yep.
Yeah, you don't have any.
And especially if it's supposed to be like the format to get people into it. Imagine sitting down, you bought a Blitz pre-con, you bought FAB during Uprising, and you sat down and somebody sat across from you with Rhinar, and they go, intimidate, swing with another intimidate for whatever it could be. I mean, really, like I've had an opening hand of the true nuts of just like, in a Blitz match, it's been like, Brajik beat down Red into a Alpha Rampage discarding a Massacre for you literally take their entire hand and hit them for 13. Like just on turn 0, I get a full grip after that. It's crazy. Okay, new Bravo. In my heart of hearts, I hope that they make this as an adult as well. This is a really, really beautiful upgrade to his ability, because I do think that his ability kind of is just getting power crept out. 2 for dominate on your 3 power cards is just not cutting it anymore. Enough people can play into Bravo well enough, and enough people will know to just run defense reactions, and Bravo's been around so long that people know what he's doing. This, I like that it does force a little bit more of a predictable play pattern from you, because obviously you have to pocket things and you have to put them in your arsenal to get the effect. But it still makes for some really nice Guardian math. I mean, you tuck a 4 for 8 in there, and all of a sudden you're coming in for a 3-card 10 pitching 2 blues with his ability, and it's got Dominate. That's really, really nice. That's a really, really nice upgrade, I think. I'm very interested. I have so much respect for Bravo because when I first started playing Katsu, I had a regular who would come in, a guy named Alex, who loved playing Bravo. I mean, he was an absolute Bravo fan, and it was back during, again, Tales of Aria when Bravo wasn't exactly a scrub. And me playing, you know, even pre-Dynasty, pre-Crouching Tiger, just not very good stuff, Katsu. I just would get my face beaten every day. So I view him like a Dark Souls boss, almost. Like, so I love Bravo. I hope that he comes back as an adult in real fashion. It makes me sad to not see him in the presence, like to have a real presence in Flesh and Blood, because I mean, he's the James White self-insert. You know what I mean? I know maybe James himself doesn't want to seem too pompous by making himself awesome as you pull up the Bravo star of the show, but you know, I love Bravo. Bravo's such a sweet character, man. He's so cool.
Yeah. That new Bravo should have been what Bravo's star of the show was.
Yeah.
So what about these
And it's part of it,
adjudicators,
right?
man? Like,
I was real sad that they stopped making adjudicators in Part the Mistveil because I wanted a Mystic adjudicator to play in UPF.
That'd have been real cool.
now is that like an official thing you found somewhere? They stopped making them, or
They just in the judge packs they haven't made one since Heavy Hitters.
oh,
Like they
With
stopped,
Brutus.
and they haven't, like, Part the Mistveil would have been the next set, and they haven't made one since then.
Yep.
like
I think they're
Brutus, this Brutus apparently is worth $124. I have these two. I don't have the Brutus just yet. I need to get one of those.
Yeah, that one's a lot rare. I think that one only comes in cold foil. I think that one's
At the moment, yeah. There's only 8 of them on there, so I haven't bought that one, but I got the others. That was originally one of the goals I actually had. Like, that was one of the specific collection requests that I try to do. Is I go through and I say, okay, do I have every hero? You know, so this was a promo. Got all these right. Got all those. These are easy. I don't have him. You know, these are all stuff you get with the sets. That was that gold pack in Part the Mistveil. These will come out in the UPF, which, you know, I'll be going to. I think you're going to a different event, Matt, but I'm going to that UPF like launch event at Gen Con. So I'll get. So I don't know if I'm getting anything special, but I'll get all those heroes. The wild one that I don't quite understand is I still need a tailor, which I don't know if I'm ever going to. I have him, even though.
Just
But
gotta
yeah.
dress up real pretty in costume one year, and they'll give you one.
That is my that's my hard to get hero.
Just dress up like Puffin.
I do
Not
have
all the way like Puffin. You don't want to
Squizzy,
get canceled, Jacob.
Squizzy and Floof. I have him. That was another UPF deck I made, by the way. Like, I want Merchant to be a stupid class. And Terra, for God's sakes, why didn't they make an adult Terra?
I'm fine with them not making an adult Terra. They had 5 heroes that needed those new Earth cards out of Rosetta right out of the bat anyways. They're fine not having a 6-1. I thought that was kind of a bonehead decision as well. Oh man, what was the hero that you just said that sparked my interest right before Terra?
Squizzy.
Squizzy and Floof Merchant, that's right. So when I was out in Colorado and I was helping run that shop, I had the idea, because Flesh and Blood was getting popular, I was going to try to call out all of the other shop owners and have them build merchant decks. And at that time, the only merchant that was legal was Cavdane, and I think Genus What You Need had just come out of Everfest. And so I tried to put out a challenge where I said either you or one kobold that you elect has to come to this event, and we're going to run a shop owners merchant tournament. But nobody bit. Nobody bit on that idea. I thought it would have been real fun.
That'd be funny. You could run one of each of those heroes. You got 4 right there.
I thought it'd be great if everybody, it was like the Battle of the Merchants, you know what I mean?
Well, and Rudy's only an adult. There's not really a young Rudy, so technically, I guess you could have his health, but like, it's wild because he's the only adult merchant.
Yeah, but he's not meant to be played. I saw the one video where somebody sat down with JW and played
I was there at that event. Yeah, that was wild. That was in Baltimore.
I heard they just drum locked each other, which, of course, you know.
It was wild. It was not. Yeah, It was. I think Hank is the one that filmed that, or Hank filmed something, and he got one of the most viewed YouTube videos on it. It's wild.
I could believe it. I mean, just sitting down deck of what PCG or what is it, PSA graded cards, and like what are they, like 9 or higher, something like
He's
that.
like coming with like a stack of slabs like this.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
huge.
James, I'll play with you.
Now, supposedly, there's the map cards that Rudy's given out, and there might be a redemption program of some sort, which may actually change from PSA, because that was what he used to use, to now BGS, or not BGS, the PCG.
Yep, PCG.
Which would be wild, and I want one. But like, I'm not a high baller. I don't have fuck you money. I never have, and I probably never will. But like, it's yeah, I don't know. That's one of those cards where like I would want it. Like I was talking to you, Ben. Like when the high C's came out, I thought about buying the kit from Rudy, but I didn't because I was going to buy the Star City. But then I didn't because I was going to buy it for my LGS, and then my LGS didn't call me for 2 weeks and say that I actually had the boxes that we got, and it was complicated. The best way to politely word it.
It was a cluster. High Seas was a cluster, but you know what? We're here and we can get singles, and I think everybody's happy finally.
I'm now morbidly curious. If I go to TCG Player, which is better, the Hunted or the High Seas from single pricing? Because there's so many treasure cards that, like, outside of you pulled the Marvelly of Marvels, right? Which one was that again?
That is the Onyx Amulet.
Oh,
so there's one for 700 on TCG Player, but like when you get out of those, you have the Fabled Gravy Bones, some Treasure, Conqueror of the High Seas, and then you immediately get down to like the less than $100 for a card.
I mean, Hunted still has CNC and Shelter from the Storm. I mean, as far as just average single price, that throws off that average so hard.
And all of the legendaries are good in that set too. Like that set is always, I think, going to be just a nice set to have on hand. And if you just want to tuck a few away and save on them to draft or open in the future, I think that's a sweet set just to have around.
I got some Japanese ones sitting here, but
I'd like to have a case of that just to tuck it away and forget about it.
Yep. My first and only box opening that I recorded when we were trying to get a YouTube channel started, and still are, but is me opening that Hunted, and I have a very unprofessional shot of me accidentally seeing the EA Ignite and just pulling it out and being like, oh my god, look at this thing.
EA Ignite. Which one is that one?
Ignite is the 0 for 2 go again that says your next Draconic card that you play or activate costs 1 less.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You do some
EA's in that set. EA Local, EA Ignite. What else was in that set? I think there's a lot of good cards in the Hunted that are just gonna age really well.
Dude, both the Draconic boots that came out and the generic boots.
Blood Battered Vest, super good.
You know what's wild to me? Looking at TCG Player, it's the middle of this month, and so far in this month, starting at like, even going back 1 month ago, according to this chart, there have only been 14 total boxes sold on TCG Player of Hunted. So people don't seem to be really caring too much for it. And there are 7 boxes available at $105 a piece. So like, that's intriguing that there are available boxes given, there's that, but then when you look at High Seas as an example, High Seas is flying off the shelf still.
Yeah, really, like all the data really shows is that the set is open the most in the first month of release and then falls dramatically after that.
I mean, conversely, 170 of the Hunted High Seas have been sold in the last month compared to 10.
But you got treasure packs. You've got Willy Wonka packs that you can get inside of those, so that's a little different story.
It's the set of, we gotta make money, cunts. We gotta make money. You put the gold packs in a mine. We gotta make money, mate.
Do you want me to open one of those gold packs? I have 2 of them.
We're not gonna tell you no. Well, Ben Fox might tell you no. I'm not gonna tell you no. You're a grown adult, Jacob. You open a treasure pack if you want to open a treasure pack, buddy.
I mean, I know one of them is, I think, technically a sealed pack from the pre-release at Valkyrie's Vault, and the other one is from like the box I opened that I kept sealed, but I don't know which is which because I stuck them in a box. But they're both
cold foil, old knocker. They're
both paper packs, so I haven't opened that many treasure packs. I mean, seriously, I haven't opened that many treasure packs. So to inaugurate your first appearance, we did a right?
We did.
Yep.
So we'll do a left. Why not?
Let's do it. I'm getting so spoiled.
And then I still have one sealed. So I don't know how these work as much. So like, what is it? Is it I just?
There will be a rainbow foil token in there.
I can't reseal the motherfucker. So I got a cog.
Ooh.
Okay. So
see, that pack's meant for you.
I got a part of the map, and then I guess if I flip it this way, I'll see it before y'all. Okay. So. Boop.
Oh.
Swiftwater Sloop?
It's the yellow sloop. Sloop dude.
Sloop. Okay.
Ew.
The actually playable, and people actually seek that one, so.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what it's worth, so.
Probably not much. It's probably a little $5 treasure card there.
I think the most value it's going to have is before you look it up.
Yep. It's whatever your heart desires, and
well, and I think what'll happen is years go by and some of these packs will be worth a decent chunk because people, you get 1 per box, so like 1 pack per box.
As long as we don't do it again.
Like long term, if this the game is still alive and well and humming in the next 10 years, 15, like could you imagine like the price of some of this stuff? Because people get in the game are going to want to go back and crack open packs of those or collect full sets maybe, and they're going to want to crack those open. And
this is all the Gym 2 wrappers you guys have been able to get me. So like so far.
I've got some gold pack wrappers for you if you want those.
Heck yeah! I mean, this is my current stack of gold wrap. But I have these are all paper. Are your paper or yours plastic?
Yep, mine are all paper. All Belgium.
I've heard there's Japanese ones I need to track down. Now, if I can get a Japanese gold pack, I'll keep that sealed because then I'll have one of each. Because right now, I have back here my Part the Mistveil sealed gold pack.
Oh, that's all.
My Enigma New Moon, because I think it's always Enigma New Moon, right?
That was
just either
first attempt at Willy Wonka packs, and he's like, "Oh well, we're just didn't do this right the first time, so let's do it up right the second time here."
The right way to do it is not at all. Not at all. The treasure packs are.
If it's not like. It can't be. It's got to be like one of those like once every 5-year deals, like one every 10 years. I'm okay with that. It can't be all the time though.
I mean, speaking of 5 years, I have a binder. I think it's this one. I specifically paid for these because I'm weird. Yeah.
What are the anniversary tokens? What are those?
Yeah, they just say 5. But I wanted that. I wanted a page of them for, I'll call it my exotic binder. I was going to actually move all my Marvels into this. I was going to try and find a way to, or I was going to use the 5-year thing and I was going to start doing all of the hero artworks from the gym packs. So like we know we have the Rosetta one. That was the only time I've seen that happen. But
Yeah.
Which I think is actually kind of an interesting precursor because that came before the gym packs, and then they started putting them in gym packs. But I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit. I feel that somebody at LSS watched my damn video, even though nobody really watches my videos, I don't think. But one of
I watch your videos.
It's not that one. Hold on. It's
especially now I'm in them. We watch them all the time.
That's right.
This I feel was my ha. That this is what I think got the idea of the juices flowing. Because this is something I got commissioned, and I was like, why can't we do this for Flesh and Blood? Why can't we do this for... I mean, Lorcana did it. Other games have done it.
Dragon Ball Z to do it. Dragon Ball Z had a 9-page nine-page character that you could put on.
I forgot this was in this binder, boys.
Oh my!
These are like my extra WTR Farewell to Wraith heroes. Some old, like there's a chain promo. There's some Emeritus Scolding stuff. I got Jinnis What You Need. That's a cold foil. Cavdane cold foil.
Man, that story looks so good.
This is some of the old. There's a Pummeling. There's all my Drone of Brutalities because I'm a sucker. More Drone of Brutalities. Here we go. This is all the old Wrecker Romps and Overloops. This is some of the old, like... Oh, God, I still have one of those. The thank you for opening your doors the day after day so that people may come together to play great games. This is something that I don't see very often anymore. But this was a card that Legend Story Studios gave out. Oh, I have two of them. That Legend Story Studios gave out to game store owners that were in the very first initial runs of like owning a store, I think.
That's pretty cool.
I can't even tell you how I got them. I don't remember how I got them. I don't know. I really don't. And then my absolute favorite Magic card. Best artwork fucking ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what is that? That is it Rebecca Guay or is it Therese Nielsen?
It's Eric Peterson, but it's the Storm Cloud.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
I don't know. I have random crap in binders, man. I used to try to label the binders and keep track of what was what, and like it got really hard. And Matt, because you've never seen this, because it's funny. You want to see my lore book?
Your budget lore book right there.
It's printed on black and white printer paper.
It's from the halls of Xerox.
Staples special there.
Yep.
The library of photocopy.
Great library of photocopy.
Great library. We need an unglued set. We need an unglued set in Flesh and Blood. Like, I could just see, like, great library of photocopy. You know, like, instead of Edge of Autumn, maybe Edge of Summer, and then, like, the sword is, like, upside down, and it only attacks for 0, but then gets +1 if it's upside down, and it's sunny outside, or something stupid. Like, you know, throw some weird, like, fourth wall horse shit in there, or, you know.
We don't. No, we can't have a MetaZoo set. That's ridiculous.
You gotta have a Victor star. You gotta have Victors on the horse's body.
Yeah, a Victor on all fours with the horse on top of him.
Yep, all the Flesh and Blood memes.
No, see, Victor should be the BFM. It should take 4 cards to assemble him, and when they're done, it's like the right leg, the left leg. Victor should be Exodia. The right leg of Victor, the left leg of Victor, the back leg of Victor.
The back leg of Victor.
The mane of Victor.
The horse's head. If you have all 5 pieces, you win the game.
Jesus. Polycranko riding Victor in a battle.
Well, on that note, I feel like we have successfully devolved into where we need to be for the night. So I thank you.
Yes.
any final comments or things you want to add to this fantastic endeavor that we have?
Yeah,
No,
this game's awesome.
yeah, it is.
Kicks ass, dude. It's the best card game I've ever played. I have lots of things that I'll complain about, and I have lots of things that I'll praise, and everything that I complain about in this game, I complain about with love because of it. It's so good. So,
Well,
It
Matt,
is.
thank you for joining us tonight, and Ben, I know you're also busy as well, so thank you too. It's been a blast. So,
my pleasure, dude. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on again.
all right. Well, here's where I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. So, thanks for watching, and if you're here, like, share, subscribe, do the things. Matt will probably have a YouTube channel at some point, so once he has that, I'll have him comment that around, and yeah, we'll see you next time. So, bye.
See y'all.
All right. We'll see you.
Now, Matt. Oh, see, I was going to tell him that he doesn't have to drop, but apparently he dropped. So.